Welcome to Amit Shakil's 5858 War and Love Report. I am Amir.
Russian President Vladimir Putin is due to meet his Turkish counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan on Monday over resuming the Black Sea grain deal. During a first papal visit to Mongolia, Pope Francis delivers a message to the noble people of neighbouring China. Over 2 million children have been displaced in Africa due to climate change. That's according to NGO Save the Children. Fresh from a hat-trick against Al Ittihad, Serbian Al Hilal striker Alexander Mitrovic tells Euronews why the best from the Saudi Pro League is still yet to come. Russian President Vladimir Putin and his Turkish counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan will meet Monday to discuss the resumption of grain shipments from Ukraine through the Black Sea, an agreement Moscow broke in July. The Kremlin says it can only return to the deal if restrictions on its grain exports are met. The announcement comes shortly after Kyiv said it endured a 3-hour Russian drone barrage against port infrastructure in the Odessa region early Sunday morning. The attack along the Reni seaport saw 2 people hospitalized, according to Ukrainian officials. The word from Ankara is that reviving the deal to ship Ukrainian grain across the Black Sea is critical for food security, Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan said Thursday. Turkey has been an ongoing mediator between both Ukraine and Russia during the war and wants the deal to resume as part of broader peace talks. On Sunday, Pope Francis sent a special greeting to the people of China, addressing them at the end of a mass celebrated in Mongolia during a papal visit. Francis led Hong Kong's current Bishop Emeritus, Cardinal John Hong Tong, and Cardinal-elect Stephen Chow to the altar, holding their hands as they sent a message to the Chinese people.
Io vorrei approfittare la sua presenza per inviare un caloroso saluto al nobile popolo cinese. A tutto il popolo gli auguro il meglio e andare avanti, progredire sempre. Ai cattolici cinesi chiedo di essere buoni cristiani e buoni cittadini.
Unlike China, Mongolia has a tradition of religious tolerance. Beijing and its Communist Party has been waging a years-long sweeping crackdown on religion, tightening controls, especially on Christianity and Islam, that are viewed as foreign imports and potential challengers to communist authority. Running for cover in central Spain. Sunday's heavy downpours have led authorities to introduce flooding protocols, shut down train lines, and even cancel a La Liga football match. Text messages were sent to Madrid residents with instructions to stay at home and to avoid using cars. It is expected that the Spanish capital's record rainfall from 1972 of 87 litres per square metre would most likely be broken. The forecast of intense rain is a stark comparison to Spain's high temperatures in August. Climate change is a reality and affecting planet Earth in different ways. Children, in particular, are suffering severely from natural disasters. This is the warning by the non-governmental organisation Save the Children. More than 2 million children in sub-Saharan Africa became internally displaced due to climate events in 2022. Forced displacement nearly doubled, from 1 million in 2021 to a record 1.85 million. According to Save the Children's last report, thousands of children will never return home, living much of their childhood in refugee camps with their families or in temporary locations. Malala Nwila, one of the NGO's regional heads, is calling on world leaders to change this picture.
When it comes to actually implementing and providing these funds, there's been little action that has happened. So the political commitment, especially from the global north, has been lacking. We want to see more actions from these governments that have been emitting historically and contributing largely to the climate crisis. So that's where we want to see action. More action and less talk.
This week marks the start of African Climate Week, where policymakers, business and civil society meet to discuss climate solutions ahead of COP28, which will take place later this year in Dubai. The starting point will be how to deal with the natural catastrophes that plagues Africa. The continent has the youngest population on the planet and possesses the Congo Basin forests, better known as the lungs of the world.
Is bringing on board is not just to talk about the problems, but also to talk about the solutions, and the solutions in which Africa is already preferring and actually putting in place to be able to share those lessons with the entire world. Climate change is a shared risk. As we're speaking today, there are wildfires in Canada that are burning and destroying ecosystems in Canada. There are floods in Europe, in some parts of Europe and in China. Climate change is a shared risk, meaning that no one is immune and it doesn't respect territorial integrity. It is affecting everyone, whether people are in rich or poor countries. Because of the fact that climate change is affecting everyone, it needs everyone to be on board with the solutions.
went silent when Mario Virginia started playing at the Astral conferences. As one of the most famous Portuguese jazz musicians, he was one of the speakers taking the stage to explore how music can be a lifesaver. But sometimes I heard people that are experts in economy, and they talk about numbers, and sometimes say, let's talk about people, because the numbers can come from people working or people not working, or working well or not well. A more humanized world, that is the focus of the 2023 Astral conferences, with discussions ranging from the impact of AI to the war in Ukraine. A common objective can be found in uniting for a positive change.
Yeah, I think that the European solidarity is doing great so far, but it's not a given fact, because keeping not only European solidarity but also transatlantic solidarity is the sine qua non for our joint victory in the future.
With the presence of Nobel laureates, politicians, scientists, and environmentalists, the conference delved into some of the most pressing challenges the world is facing, allowing young generations to engage with these issues.
There's so many people from so many different branches, scientists coming here, and I feel like it's an opportunity to learn not only about what's already being explored, but what's already coming in the future.
As the conferences came to an end, uncertainty remained. Acting now for the future is more urgent than ever. John Bodinier, Euronews. Gondolas and boats take part in Venice's historical regatta throughout the lagoon area. The Venice Regatta is one of the oldest events held in the lagoon. It begins with a ceremonial parade along the Grand Canal of historical boats manned by Venetians in period costume. The most important rowing races are between the various neighbourhoods of Venice. In the past, the regattas were divided in challenges among boatmen, or gondoliers, and big regattas. Red Bull Formula 1 driver Max Verstappen wins the Italian Grand Prix in Monza, beating Sergio Perez to surpass Sebastian Vettel's F1 record for most consecutive wins. Verstappen eclipses a record set by Vettel in 2013. Sergio Perez fought hard to make it a Red Bull 1-2, while Carlos Sainz just held off Charles Leclerc in the final laps to take third place. The result means Verstappen is still on top for the 2023 series. Fernando Alonso remains in third, despite finishing 9th in Monza. The transfer market in Europe has closed on Friday, but the wealthy Saudi league can still sign players until September 7th. After scoring a memorable hat-trick in the Saudi Clasico, Al Hilal striker Alexander Mitrovic tells Euronews about his experience and the fascination with the Saudi league.
And nights like this, the world will sit up and take notice, I presume, of the Saudi Pro League, because a quite brilliant game, a brilliant performance from yourselves as well. What would you say to maybe players that are considering joining you out here?
I moved myself here from one of the best Premier League, and I think this league have all things in the future, next few years, to become one of the best leagues in the world. And I think they have facilities, they have fun, they have people who love football, and I think the players will more and more be open to come to this league, especially when you watch a game like this. And I think maybe this is the future of football in this country.
The champions Al Ittihad, carrying Benzema's new team, tried last week to get Mohamed Salah for £150 million, but Liverpool rejected the bid. The Saudis, though, still have some days to get the deal done.
Tell me about the atmosphere. What was it like to play in? Is a nights like this?
This is the night. This is the game that you love to see. To be honest, I never experienced this in any other league, and atmosphere from both teams. Our supporters as well. Beginning of the game, I think that this was an amazing game, and yeah, this is for sure one of the reasons why I moved here. The reception I get from the fans, from my teammates, is amazing. I'm really happy that 3 games so far, 3 wins. And we are still beginning of the season, but I think we are playing good football. We create a lot of chances, and we play football that everybody wants to see.
2 Americans made history in the Dacia UTMB Mont Blanc Ultramarathon in Chamonix. Jim Walmsley won the 20th edition's men's competition in a time of 9 hours 37 minutes and 43 seconds. Fellow American Zach Miller came second, and Frenchman Germain Granger third, respectively. He is the first American to ever win the men's event. In the women's competition, Courtney DeWalter's win completed the American double at a time of 23 hours, 29 minutes and 14 seconds. The win at Mont Blanc is her third, after the 2019 and 2021 titles. Katharina Hartmut of Germany and French competitor Blondine L. Erondel finished second and third. 2,500 people entered the spectacular 171-kilometre race through France, Italy and Switzerland.
Thank you for watching and privilege of your time. This is Amir Shakil 5858. I am Amir Woodman. have a good life.